Last time out, we discussed the miracle on ice with Team USA legend John Harrington. Here's part two of our interview. You've been depicted in a couple of films. You mentioned one earlier. Of course, most notably, I think it's Disney's 2004 Miracle. What was it like to see yourself on the big screen in such a big hit movie?
That was really exciting. I'll tell you a couple things. I was coaching at St. John's University in Collegeville, Minnesota at the time. And actually I had a couple players on my team try out for parts. They had open tryouts. And my captain actually got a final tryout to go to California to try to get in this movie because they wanted hockey players to play the players that were in the movie. And so that was, I was wishing him luck. I think I had my fingers crossed behind my back, but I was wishing him luck and say, hey, boy, this is a great opportunity. And he actually decided to stay and finish school and do his schooling and stay and play for us. So I almost lost one of my captains there and into one of those roles. But the funny thing, the guy, I remember getting a phone call, Nate Miller, a guy named Nate Miller, who played at the University of Minnesota. He was a captain there, and he called me one day and said, hey, coach, hey, this is Nate Miller. Hey, Nate, how's it going? And I had actually recruited Nate at St. John's University when he was in high school. He ended up going to play junior hockey and then ended up at the University of Minnesota. So I knew Nate, and he goes, hey, I just want to let you know I tried out for this movie Miracle and everything, and I got a part. I'm playing you. And I'm going, wow, Nate, I mean, good. They got a good looking guy. That's a good thing. And he said, can I call you? Can we talk about things? I want to know, what you did, what you wore, this and that. And I'll just remember over the course of before the movie and when they were making it, he'd ask me like, who did you listen to? What was the music? I said, well, I was from northern Minnesota up on the Iron Range there. Bob Dylan was from up there. I was a big Bob Dylan fan. And I always remember in the movie when our Conehead line actually came in. They had a thing where we came in to talk to Herb in the movie, and Nate had a Bob Dylan t-shirt on. And I remember at the premiere in Hollywood, when we saw that, he said, I wore that t-shirt because you told me you were a Bob Dylan fan of music right there. So I was fired up about that he had done that. But he did a great job. I love the movie. I say jokingly, that Kurt Russell appreciated my talents more than Herb did. I was on the power play in the movie, and I don't know if I was ever on the power play for Herb, but we had fun with it. And I'll tell you, after that movie came out, I was teaching a theory of hockey. All the coaches at St. John's University taught a 1-credit theory of their sport. So I don't know if there is a theory of hockey, but I was teaching it. And I said, one of the times I said, I got tickets. The movie came to St. Cloud, and I went and got group tickets. I said, we're going to go and watch this movie, my class. And then Nate Miller, who played me in the movie, is going to come up tomorrow and speak to our class, and he and I can talk about it. And I think we could have talked all day to that group after the day we saw that movie. I mean, Nate was tremendous, and we had a great conversation, and it still was one of the great days, I think, of my teaching career anyway, of having Nate there and me there and him talking about how the movie was made and me talking, discussing different things that went on in the movie.
As a broadcaster, watching that final couple of minutes and listening to Al Michaels and realizing that it's, I think the fans that really know about the story, that it's not the gold medal game, and that game was actually even tape delayed, that people had to watch it, after the fact, and maybe not knowing him, of course, such a different period of time in terms of sports broadcasting. But I mean, Al Michaels pretty much putting on broadcasting 101, using the clock and that final minute to create so much drama. To me, it's like I said, arguably greatest team and maybe one of the greatest, if not the greatest hockey game of all time.
So honest to God, I still am nervous watching, how is this going to work out? Wait a sec, I know how this works out. But I just remember being in that last 10 minutes, Mike Eruzione scored with 10 minutes left in the game. And I just remember sitting there and just going, tick, clock, tick, go. But it just didn't seem to be moving. And Herb, exhorting us to just kind of play your game, just keep playing the game, and, not to get in that thing of looking up to see where the clock is, but watching the game and being focused on what we were doing. And I'll tell you, that team certainly had great talent, had unbelievable individual talent, but there was something about it, and it had a lot to do with how Herb coached us, and it had a lot to do with the personality of our players. is that when we got together, that somehow we were better as a group than we were as individual players. I think we cheered for each other. We knew everybody could count on each one of us to play to the best of their ability. And I think that's what made it is so rewarding. It's so exciting for us. And you're right about Al Michaels. I mean, the end of that is as good as it gets in sports broadcasting. And I mean, heck, to be a part of it, I can't say I'm ever speechless about it, but it's something that can make you speechless thinking about it.
And, John, as a college coach today, I would definitely be remiss if I didn't ask you more about the late, great Herb Brooks. I mean, you made a little book of Brookisms at the time. What lessons did he teach you that you're still using today in coaching others and kind of passing along things?
I mean, I think everybody knows that he was an old time coach, old time philosophy and he was, I think more of a like negative reinforcement, kind of reverse psychology. Like he would be kind of tell you how bad you were. I mean, you never wanted to be caught alone with Herb Brooks because you knew you'd kind of get undressed a little bit by him and talking about your game and that. But he knew he had players that would be challenged by that. He had that type of players on his team. My first college coaching job was at the University of Denver as an assistant, and I recruited Herb's son, Dan, to play for us. He played at Denver University. And I'll say that when I got there as a coach and then I went to St. Cloud State University briefly for 3 years and then went to St. John's University and was there for 15 years, that Herb went from being kind of a antagonistic person to me to a real mentor to me as a coach. And I would get notes from Herb when we won big games. Hey, John, congratulations, keep it going. I'd get notes from him that, when you lose a game, hey, John, keep coaching, just get over it, learn from it. Let's move on to the next game. He really became a mentor for me, someone I could call and discuss hockey with. And I always appreciated that he would give his opinion, but say, John, you remember, you have to have convictions in what you think. Like that's going to be the important thing, like what you think, and that you express that to your team. And I think that's one of the biggest things I've learned from Herb is that to coach with conviction, that at the moment you have to believe that that's the right thing to do. That it may not always turn out right, but at that moment, because your team can read that, they can read that out of your coach. So I think that's the biggest thing I learned from Herb is that ability to stay with it and believe in what you're doing and make sure your players believe in what you're doing. And we certainly did when we played in 1980.
And John, I know too that you've said in the past that your high school coach and also Herb Brooks, basically had this ability to give great constructive criticism to make you better. And I know that you're still doing that today and coaching your own team.
Yeah, I try to do that we can always get better at what we do. And I also remember, it's one of the things I remember about my high school coach. One time I asked him, he was hard on me, and maybe that's where I've be able to accept that because coaches were hard on me, but that inspired me to be better. And I tried to not listen to that, the hard part of it, but try to listen to the coaching part of it to get better. But I always remember, and I've told this to my old high school coach on numerous occasions, I always remember going to him one time and asking if I could talk to him and say, why are you, always on me? You seem like you're always talking to me about things that are going on the ice and things that are going wrong. He goes, one, because I'm trying to make you better as a player. And two, I'll just let you know, if I wasn't talking to you, you'd have a problem because then I wouldn't care about you. I care about you as a player, and that's why I'm trying to make you a better player. And I've always remembered that he said that, and try to hopefully remember that to have an explanation with my players when I'm talking to them, that it's not a not like or like thing. It's like, we're trying to get better here. I'm coaching you to try to be a better player.
Well, John, I know many of the fans at home definitely care about that 1980 hockey team and the Miracle on Ice. And for those that want to contribute and be part of this, they can visit 1980 Miracle Monument on Facebook so that you can be part of putting together a reminder of what it is to believe in dreams and miracles. Thanks so much, John, for taking some time with us this morning. It was so great to talk to you.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me. I had a great time. Thank you.